Hello, and welcome back to People Skills Pro. Let's be honest, first dates can be nerve-wracking. You're meeting someone new, you want to make a good impression, and you're hoping there's a spark. In that nervous energy, it's easy to fall back on what feels safe and logical. But what if the very thing you're doing to see if she's the right fit is the exact thing that's guaranteeing there won't be a second date? There is one mistake that countless well-intentioned men make on a first date. It's subtle, it's common, and it is an absolute attraction killer. It's the reason so many dates feel flat, boring, and more like a formal meeting than a romantic connection. This mistake doesn't come from a bad place. It comes from a deep misunderstanding of what a first date is actually for. Today, we are going to identify and dissect the single biggest mistake men make on a first date. We'll explore the psychology of why it fails so spectacularly, and most importantly, I'll give you the powerful mindset shift and practical techniques to ensure you never make this mistake again. Prepared to learn how to stop being an interrogator and start being the man who creates an unforgettable experience. The number one mistake: turning the date into a job interview. The single most common and destructive mistake a man can make on a first date is treating it like a job interview. He has a mental checklist of qualifications he's looking for in a partner. His goal for the date is not to connect, but to collect data. He becomes an interrogator, launching a volley of logical, fact-finding questions to determine if she is a suitable candidate for the girlfriend position. The conversation sounds like this. So, where are you from? What do you do for work? Do you like your job? How many siblings do you have? Where did you go to college? What are you looking for in a relationship? Are you more of an indoor or outdoor person? On the surface, these seem like normal questions. But when a date consists only of this back-and-forth data exchange, it creates a sterile, high-pressure environment. You're not building a connection, you're conducting a screening. The psychology, why we do it, and why it kills attraction. Men often fall into the interviewer trap for two reasons: nervousness and a logical mindset. When we're nervous, we seek structure, and a question-and-answer format feels structured. More fundamentally, many men approach dating with a problem-solving mindset. The problem is being single, and the solution is finding a compatible partner. So they logically try to determine compatibility by asking questions and comparing the answers to their checklist. But this approach is doomed to fail because attraction is not a logical process, it is an emotional one. You can't create a feeling of excitement by asking about her career path. You can't create a spark by asking how many siblings she has. Women, and people in general, don't fall for a resume, they fall for a feeling. When you act as the interviewer, you are actively preventing the very emotions required for attraction to grow. From her perspective, the interview date feels high pressure. She feels like she's on the spot, being judged and evaluated. She has to give the right answers to pass the test. This creates anxiety, not comfort. Boring. A logical data exchange is tedious. It lacks the spontaneity, playfulness, and fun that make a date enjoyable. Selfish. The sub-communication of the interviewer is, "I need to see if you are good enough for me." It makes the entire interaction about your needs and your checklist, rather than about creating a shared, mutually enjoyable experience. No woman ever left a date thinking, "Wow, he collected my data so efficiently. I can't wait to see him again." She leaves thinking, "Wow, that felt like an interview. There was no chemistry." The antidote: shift from interviewer to experience creator. To fix this mistake, you need a fundamental mindset shift. Your goal on a first date is not to determine if she's the one. Your one and only goal is to answer this question. Can we create a fun, enjoyable experience together? You must shift your identity from interviewer to experience creator. An experience creator focuses on the present moment. He leads with fun, playfulness, and emotion. He understands that his job is to create a fun, safe bubble where two people can connect and see if their personalities vibe. Here are 3 practical techniques to become an experience creator. 1. Use playful assumptions instead of questions. Instead of asking a boring, factual question, make a fun, playful assumption about her. This is more engaging and invites a story, not just a one-word answer. It takes the pressure off and turns a question into a game. Instead of, "So, are you close with your family?" Try, "Let me guess, you're the responsible older sibling who always had to keep the wild younger ones in line, weren't you?" Instead of, "What kind of music do you like?" Try, "I seem like you have a secret appreciation for 90s pop music. Don't lie." This technique is powerful because even if you're wrong, you create a fun moment. She can laugh and say, "No way, I was the wild younger one." And just like that, you're in a real conversation, not an interrogation. 2. Ask emotion-based, story-eliciting questions. When you do ask questions, make them count. Ditch the factual questions and ask things that tap into her emotions, passions, and stories. Instead of, "What do you do for work?" Try, "What's the most exciting or passionate part of what you do?" Instead of, "Have you traveled much?" Try, "What's the most spontaneous trip you've ever taken?" Instead of, "What are your hobbies?" Try, "What's something you're completely obsessed with right now that you could talk about for hours?" These questions are interesting. They require thought and reveal personality, not just data points. They show you're interested in who she is, not just what she does. 3. Focus on creating a we frame. As we've discussed before, using the word we is incredibly powerful. The experience creator is always thinking about fun, future adventures, creating a shared narrative from the very beginning. If she says, "I've always wanted to try rock climbing," the interviewer says, "Oh, that's cool." The experience creator says, "No way, there's an amazing climbing gym downtown. We should go sometime and you can show me up." If she says, "I love spicy food," the interviewer says, "Me too." The experience creator says, "Okay, challenge accepted. We have to go to this little hole-in-the-wall Thai place that has a spice level that is definitely not street legal." This isn't about locking down future dates. It's about creating a fun, shared world where future adventures are possible. It's playful, confident, and focuses on the shared experience. So, let's bring it all together. The number one mistake men make on a first date is acting like an interviewer. It's logical, it's boring, and it creates pressure that kills any chance of a real emotional connection. The solution is to change your mindset. Stop being an interviewer and become an experience creator. Your goal is not to qualify her, but to have fun with her. Use playful assumptions instead of boring questions. Ask questions that reveal her passions, not just her stats. And build a shared world with we statements that hint at future fun. When you focus on creating a fun, emotional experience in the present moment, you give attraction the space it needs to grow. You stop being another forgettable guy with a checklist and become the one man she can't stop thinking about because she had more fun with you than anyone else. If you found this helpful, please do me a favor and click the like button and subscribe to People Skills Pro for more practical advice on building better connections. Thank you for listening.